So Goblin Slayer's been out for a couple of days at this point, and I haven't got to use him once yet because I've been so busy. So today we're going to be trying out his Dream Evolution and seeing if he's good, if he's bad, seeing how far I could actually push this character, and my thoughts on both the Dream Awakening. So in terms of which dream I'm going to be picking first, both of these dreams I can kind of see some benefit with both of them, but I think personally the Crimson Dream is just overall better, and let me explain. So the Crimson Dream gives you just automatically 150% more damage during break, and you autofill your Arc Age by 2 just constantly. These are pretty much unconditional effects apart from additional attack since you have to be in break, but it's pretty much very simple in order to achieve it. However, this is not the same with the Spectral Dream. The Spectral Dream is only good against demon characters, or at least the Demon Breaker is. And the fact that I need to be fighting a demon that needs to be broken kind of feels like, why would I go with this whenever I could just have a constant damage buff if I break on top of the damage buffs I already have? You kind of see what I'm getting at? Not to mention too, he did get various buffs, which you'll see that on screen right now, that have made him extremely good and extremely potent. I think even his break value got up from like 3,000 or 4,000 all the way up to 5,000, which is very good. But as you see here, we dreamed awoken him into the Fire Dream, and now we have the other two passives along with everything else. Which it has been a minute, so let's talk about what those passives actually are. First thing he has is, of course, Goblin Slayer. They buffed this recently, and now he has 100% damage to demons, and he also has Revenge level 4, which is autofills your own Arc Age by 4 when near death. In terms of the kit, we have a skill that's able to increase damage and break power every single time you use it, and it's on a 9-second cooldown. Not too bad. His art is able to reduce break res and increase the damage to enemies. And then his true art is like his bread and butter. This got buffed too. It's now at a 70,000 multiplier. He still gets more damage based on how low his max HP is, and he now stacks even more art shin than before, which is A1 for this character. And I guess if you guys haven't seen his animations, we'll show them real quick. We have his attack skill here, which is just a slice. We have his skill here, which is a dash, and as you see right there, he actually I really love this skill because look, he throws the dagger and it's supposed to get stuck in the boss or whatever. Then he's dashing forward, grabbing it out, and then slicing him again. Very good animation work right here. We have an art that, oh my goodness, I love whenever they do that. So if you see here, whenever he puts the scroll in, and he has the eye flash and everything, oh my goodness, it looks so nice. And then his true art, I've seen this quite a bit. I'm pretty sure you guys have too. His true art's really nice. It's actually not too slow either for it to be a stacking true art. It's relatively quick, and I actually like it a lot. It has a few hits in it, then it has a slice at the end, which I think is a little bit of a beam that does a few more hits than the slices. I don't know what I gave him last time. I don't even know if I was doing the reviews last time for the animations, but I would say Goblin Slayer's about a 7, maybe possibly an 8, just because I really love just all the animations. I don't even watch the anime, but I can really appreciate how much life they gave Goblin Slayer and how it just seems to go with his character so much. Now we can't forget about the equips, of course, and there's a few different things that you can do with the man Goblin Slayer. For the 5-star physical with sustain, which is probably what you're going to be using him in most of the time, you could either go with something that's just going to give you more break values and art gauge. For example, Chloe's true weapon wouldn't be too bad on him, just to give him a bunch of art shin right at the bat to try to get his art gauge going as fast as possible. Also, it hits relatively hard with the break value. Or if you want to, you can just give him some type of art shin item like True Izanagi or whatever else. If you're nuking with him, the 5-star physical can be just a burst art shin item like Genos Vest. For the 5-star defense, if you're sustaining, it's really up to you in terms of what you want to use here. Just pretty much make sure you're using something that's countering the boss you are fighting. For nuking, 5-star defense can either be change of pace or something like Black Trike to help you get your arch even faster. 4-star physical best in slot for sustain is going to be B3 Claw. He wants to be at lower HP. You consume your HP when you use B3 Claw, so it's a win-win. So the first thing we're going to be trying him up against is going to be the Extreme Crest Palace. This is against the Ice B3 Claw. I forgot his name, Alpha or Omega or something like that. So I won't lie to you guys, I'm not really a Goblin Slayer expert. I've rarely ever used this character. I mean, he's always been a fun character, but I've rarely ever used him, man. Final fight right here, and this fight shouldn't be too difficult, especially since we have the boy Kiri. The only bad part about this team comp is that since we have Haruto, he's never at a low HP threshold to where he's going to be able to get use out of his super art mechanic. Or not super art mechanic, his freaking true art mechanic, which sucks. It sucks so much because, Haruto is just Haruto. I could go with maybe a War God Finn here instead, and War God Finn would be able to pretty much do it for him, which might be just overall a little bit better, and I'll definitely try that in just a second. Because as you see right now, we're just, a little bit too tanky. And without having any type of crit rate on the team, we're not going to be doing much of anything. There's another break. We're going to be getting 200 arc gauge off of that. So no matter what, at least in break, we're getting a pretty sizable damage buff. But still, we could be having a lot more, especially with him being at lower HPs. You know what? I'm definitely going to throw on War God Finn and see if that helps. The only bad part is that since I won't have a healer, I will have to stop using B3 Claw at some point, since B3 Claw can actually like just blow me up instantly. So yeah, you know what? Let's try and do that again, but this time with War God Finn instead of Haruto. It should make like a huge difference, especially if we get this boy to near death. I just now realized my B3 claws. Oh, I have the wrong B3 claw on him. This is not even max LB. What am I doing? One thing that is good is that since there's multiple stages in this fight, or in this quest, let me say, that means that we actually reset our skill quite a bit. So we're able to get off like a lot, and I really do mean a lot of skill uses before we even get to the main floor. Because as you see, it's only been 17 seconds, but we're about to be at our 4th use on our skills, which is extremely good. And on top of that too, we're about to be at low HP as well, which is also going to make quite a bit of a difference. As you see here with the break values, I think we're doing relatively well. Let me see. This should take me to near death. Yeah, that break value is definitely going down. And let's see what we're at right now. We are broken. We're going to pop the super art. We're going to pop this. And let's see if this man, Goblin Slayer, can deal crazy amounts of DPS here, or if he's just going to get shafted. So let's see what we got. Maybe. I can't really tell if the damage is that crazy or not. I feel like he's doing nothing. That's just me though. Like, it seems like he's okay. Never mind. It's going down. It's going down. Okay. Something slight. See, but since we're at 1400, we can't get too much lower on HP, or else we'll just die. So I'm gonna try my best not to get freaking clapped. Let's pop the true art again. We have so many arts buffs. Let's see the break value. Ooh, the break is going crazy. To be honest, as I'm using this character, the more and more I see that I feel like he's better off as a breaker than he is as a damage dealer. Let's see the final true art here. What we're dealing with damage. I thought, oh, okay, I saw like 134k per hit. 2.6 million with Goblin Slayer. Really not that much of a difference from the first run. And then, as you see, they're still not able to deal more damage than, or more break value than Chloe. Really am hoping for some good stuff here, man. Because if this man's not doing a lot, oh yeah, we'll definitely be able to see. This boss is relatively simple too, because you only have to break him once, and then you're able to deal crazy amounts of DPS. We're going to pop the art first just to get the break res down, to make it to where it's easier for Goblin Slayer to break. Of course, as I said, in sustain though, like in a team like this, it's going to be really hard for him to stay at like low HP thresholds, just because you want the healing for everyone, and you know for a fact that you're not going to want to be playing that dangerous game. You want to be as safe as possible a lot of the times when it comes to these in-game fights. This fight though, I wouldn't really say this is really in-game anymore. I mean, I guess it kind of is, but this fight in general really isn't too bad nowadays. And maybe if I have Shiro, maybe I don't need a healer like Haruto. Possibly I could use someone else. And we finally get the break off. We're actually dealing quite a bit of damage here, but I don't know how much of that is necessarily Goblin Slayer and how much of it is everyone else's damage. Actually, I think Goblin Slayer is the one that's being targeted right now, which is really good. I want him to take as much damage as he possibly can. I'm gonna try to chill out a little bit on Haruto's healing and just try to take a little bit more damage here. Just kind of see like where we're at in terms of damage. Because so far, I would say we're looking relatively good. There we go. We actually beat it. Now it's time to see the break values here. Hopefully they're better. Part of me feels like Shiro and War God Finn might have out DPS'd. Let's see. And actually, no, Goblin Slayer. There we go. That's what I want to see. Break value 114k. Yes, sir. That is what I want to see from Goblin Slayer. See, in that situation, it worked out really well. I think that could even work even better if I took off the Haruto, because I don't think I need Haruto since I have Shiro Emiya. I think that Haruto's just kind of holding me back just a tiny bit. Now, I would actually try to nuke, but I don't think it's going to look that impressive because I don't have the main equip that you would need, which is Divine Arachnid's Blood. This is a Mines equip, and you see here that it costs 50% of your HP, but it increases all allies crit rate by 120%. So what you do is that you throw this on Goblin Slayer. He loses 50% of his HP. Everybody gets crit, but because he lost his HP, he's going to get more damage, and that way it will correlate to you actually dealing some pretty big DPS. Since I don't have this equip though, the only other alternative would be like its 5-star variant, and its 5-star variant will practically kill you because it uses 99% of your HP. So if you want to nuke with Goblin Slayer, you definitely need this equip to make him really pop out and shine. But I think that was a pretty good showing of what Goblin Slayer can do for right now. In terms of breaking, he's definitely really good at that. So to be honest, I could see arguably people going with the other Dream Awakening just to make his breaking even better. He does deal decent DPS, but definitely you could get the same amount or even more DPS with an Ascended character, which is something I just hate. I really wish that whenever we got Dream Evolutions, they were on the same level of Ascended characters, or even sometimes better than Ascended characters, but it seems like they're still kind of holding back in that regard, which really sucks because Goblin Slayer is a really cool character, but it just seems like they kind of hold him just a tiny bit. I don't know, maybe if they made his modifier a little bit more, maybe if they gave him a little bit more break and pushed this all the way up to like 7k possibly, or 6k. But yeah, all in all, I still think he's a great character, great attacker if you need an attacker. By the way, he's a 120 luck unit, so you can use him in farming and everything too, so he has a lot of value. In terms of the overall meta, he's definitely not going to be shaking it up anytime soon. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this one, man. Thank you all for coming out. If you enjoyed this video, however, check out either one of the other videos popping on the screen right now. Great content, guarantee you love them. Oh, and one more thing before you leave, don't forget to drink water.